Listen to what Trump's top economic advisor, Kevin Hassett, had to say about the Fed.
The bottom line is that this is the most expensive project in D.C. history. So the Fed has a lot to answer for. And the bottom line is that there's a key statutory problem. In 1913, when we founded the Fed, the U.S. was under a gold standard. So it was never envisioned by the people that voted for the construction of the Fed that we currently see, that the Fed could print money and toss it around willy-nilly because they had to have the gold to do what they're doing.
By the way, Hassett there is talking about cost overruns in the renovation of the Fed headquarters. Congressman Darrell Issa joins me now. The White House seems to be lining up Powell to be fired for cause over the spending on his headquarters. Would you like to see Powell gone as soon as possible?
Stuart, I'd like to see a Fed that realizes that its real mandate is to help promote a healthy, positive, working, prosperous country with hedges against inflation. Instead, what they seem to find is an arbitrary number that changes from time to time to meet some political need. So yes, I'd like to see the Fed either do its job and realize that it's time to lower rates and continue the growth that's being earned here in Washington and around the country, rather than continue to move the ball. Remember, Stuart, they were saying that, we could go somewhere well above 2 and below 3 until we achieved it. Now they've moved it down to, no, it's stubbornly just above 2.
You'd fire him if you could? Because that would take away his independence.
I would ask him to stand up and say, how is it you couldn't even get on time and on budget on a project you had all the time in the world to prepare? And if you can't, isn't it really time that you move on to somebody that isn't both indecisive and unable to manage something as simple as delivering a new location on time and on budget, which he hasn't done?
Congressman, what's the plan now that the big, beautiful bill has passed? I want you to listen to what Speaker Johnson had to say about that. Roll tape.
We're implementing a playbook that we designed well over a year ago. The big, beautiful bill was the first big step in that, but we have multiple steps ahead of us. We have long planned for at least 2, possibly 3 reconciliation bills, one in the fall and one next spring, that would continue to allow us to do this on a partisan basis where we only need Republican votes and we don't have to drag Democrats along. All these things will be done while we're codifying more of President Trump's executive orders.
So, Congressman, what is your priority for these rescissions and cuts? What would you prioritize for cuts?
There's no question at all that we've been accused of somehow, because we wanted to return to a normal balance, cutting Medicaid. But there's a lot of waste and fraud still in Medicaid. There is a number of issues where some states, my own including, effectively don't pay, I repeat, don't pay for Medicaid and put it all in the back of the federal government when it's supposed to be a 50-50 partner. So there's a number of those. I oversee the courts and AI. There's a lot of work to be done there. The president's accomplishments around the world, as vice chair of the Foreign Affairs Committee, our chairman is dedicated to overhauling and completely reauthorizing the State Department, which will now be the entire State Department, USAID, all of it back under one roof and consolidated to accomplish a job it hasn't done well in years. So that and a lot more needs to be done.
Got it. Congressman, thanks for joining us. See you again real soon. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.